back here on a Wednesday, and we got our orange Bronco back. Phil just dropped it off, and we are doing a final polish, getting this thing all put back together. Phil's got it all pretty much put back together. Still got a couple bugs to work out here and there. You got to put some miles on it, but we need to fix it. We had really nice weather. It's been cold but clear and not raining, so good time to bring this over. Don't want to drive this thing in the rain because it is just a little too detailed. And the other thing we got to do is, when I was over there helping him set the doors on, because it's a two-person job, I slipped and caught the dash with a wrench. So shame on me for trying to help someone out. Huh? Hopefully we'll get this thing touched up. I think I'm just going to take a little 180, kind of feather this out back just where it doesn't chip anymore. Put some icing in there. Luckily there's not somebody just stopped by. I'm not sure I left off, but basically we're going to try to fix this chip. I'm going to kind of feather this back with some 320, put a little spot putty in there, and then try to keep my repair very smooth. Back tape this, and then I'm going to tape this off. I haven't decided if I want to try to clear this or if I just want to try to fog this in. Kind of wet sand this out about to here, and I'll back roll tape this, and then fog a little bit of orange, and then this actual house color, because house color is very, very, very transparent. So we'll put an orange base down to get it close as we can, and we'll kind of airbrush, fog this in with a detail gun, and then probably wet sand this area right here, and then we'll blend in our clear. And then tomorrow I'll probably do the actual painting. Today we'll just get it primered and prepped, and then we'll come back Friday, wet sand that and polish it. Hopefully we can keep our blend area very small. At least that's kind of the plan on that. The other thing is, it's very nice interior, so I gotta kind of keep all this black from not getting a whole bunch of dust and stuff on it. It's got some pretty nice, look like custom built carpet, so I'm gonna throw a blanket down, maybe some of my masking paper, try to get that thing where we're not dusting out the interior, get that touched up, probably just get that primed, and then maybe we'll start polishing on it. I don't know. We will definitely polish it on it the next couple of days, so try to get that thing closer to being primered and get that chip kind of feathered out, and then we'll see if we feel like polishing it. So that's the plan. Let's see if we can't get something done. So all that right there, just to get that little chunk, or that little chip sanded out to where we can spray some of this primer. I've actually got it laying here almost out, but I think there's enough to do it. And I got my Infotech heater just kind of warming the can up. Alright, so we got our 2-in-1 here, or 3-in-1 primer. Just a little spray. So we're gonna let that sit for a little while, dry. That's why, and then you can see why I really like taped that off to the small area, because that still sprays out pretty good. So I'm gonna let that dry for a few minutes. I'm trying to get warmed up in here, coming up with a game plan on this little primer spot. We had wet sanded it all out to I think 2000. So that's good. I'm gonna come back in here with like probably like 800 or 1000. Knock this primer down. I want to get this primer spot as small as I can, as close to the filler as I think it's like right here as I can get it. There, I don't have, so that I don't have to spray a whole bunch of orange trying to get this covered. The smaller, the better. I'm gonna have to hit it with, like, we have some base coat orange that's not the House of Color, but this House of Color is so thin and transparent. I want to put something that's as close as I can get to it. So then what I'll do is I'll probably airbrush, maybe detail gun, just a really small area of that orange, and then come back in and try to fade and blend my house of color out. And then hopefully all that I could stay in this area right here to do my clear blend, and then we'll spray our clear blend. We'll do a kind of a pocket with our tape, so then we're not putting a real hard edge there. And then tape this off, so this won't get painted, this side won't get painted. We'll tape this really off, but we will clear all the way down in here, and we'll soft edge with tape this roll right here, so then there'll be a small blend line on that corner. You'll never see it. So that's the plan. I really hope this works, and we're gonna see if we can't go ahead and get this thing really a little orange on this. That's a lot of masking paper. Seems a little excessive. And yes it is. All right, so I got that taped up, and some guy probably think that's pretty excessive for a smaller than dime size repair, color, but you know, it's only going to be about that big around time right down. But I'd rather be safe than sorry. I mean, all this is probably $5 worth of tape and paper, maybe 10, but $10 to not have to clean over, spray, the peace of mind that's probably not going to get sprayed on it, and just save the headache, worth it all day long. So that being said, I'm going to kind of clean up because I got a bunch of crap everywhere. I'm going to mix up a little bit of this orange, and we're going to probably run that through an airbrush, give it a get mixed up, and then spray a little orange on that. Mix up House of Color with our Clockwork Orange. Just a little bit in there. I'm hoping enough to just kind of dust it out. Yeah. The reason I'm using the Valspar is just simply because I've used it hundreds of times, and I know how it sprays. I know how it reacts. I've done blends with it a few times before. I'll get this mixed up, get set up over there, get the light on, and spray some, try to do our first coat, coat of our clear blend. Outside there, I'm going to hammer pretty thick. I'm going to let that sit for about 10 to 15 minutes, let it tack up good, and then I'm going to pull the Infotech over here, and I'm going to set the Infotech on it, which is just a heater. All right, back here on a Friday, trying to finish up our little, I think it's a 71 Bronco. We did our blend yesterday. I threw the Infotech on it, and we're going to try to wet sand this out. You can kind of see like how I roll this out. That way, like, but right before it kicks all the way, you can kind of just peel this back a little bit, and basically that lets the paint edge, if it's stepped up, it kind of lets it just flow out. You don't get such an edge there. You don't even see where it's at there. I do got just a little tiny bit of a sag right here. I'm going to try to get out, peel this tape off, that way I can get into my blend area here. You can see where I blended it, but I had wet sanded all this down, I think with 2000. So then this shouldn't, if you'll sand this, that allows the paint to go into those sand scratches. You wet sand the paint down to the sand scratches, and then you buff it so it's all even. That's how you get a pretty nice blend. So for that, we're going to start with 1000 grit, and then I'm going to go to 15 and 2, and then this is a 3000 grit Trizac pad, and I found some 5000. So the reason that I would go so far to 5000 is that hopefully I won't have to use a compound to polish it, because this 3M which I freaking just love this, but it has a tendency to not only dry out and kind of chalk out. You get that when you do that. Sorry, I got a cold. I've been fighting for like a month. This stuff has a tendency to just get flung everywhere, and then you just got like white stuff everywhere. So I'm gonna try not to get on this. I'm gonna see if I can go up to 5,000 and use something like a swirl mark remover to polish it. Wet sand that down with 1,000. Try to knock that little sagger down, hit it with 15, 2, and then work my way out to probably. I'm just going to 5,000 and see if we can't polish that out with just that light duty polish. Alright, so that pretty much buttons up our 71 Bronco return. We got that thing all touched up. There was a big old chip there, looking pretty good. A little bit of wax or something there. Wipe that down once again. I'm going to come back and just wipe a couple of these things down. Got a little dusty. Wipe that down and then call Phil in time to get this piece of junk out of here. So that wraps up this video on our final polish and a little touch up on the 71 Bronco. If you like this type of stuff, enjoy this stuff, give me a like, a subscribe, comment below. Remember, get out there and create something today. The universe sucks. Peace.